Were you not a fan of how the Tournament of Power went? Did your favorite character bow out too soon? Well, now is your chance to have it your way, as we now present to you the Tournament of Power Bingo Tournament! And here is your host, coming all the way from his fireplace with crazy paving, it's me! Thank you, and welcome to the second episode of the Tournament of Power Bingo Tournament. We had quite the frantic first episode, with many of you stepping up and voting for your favorite candidate. Thank you for your support. If you wish to find out more information about how exactly this entire shebang works, you can check out the first episode, linked up top. But you might want to know what happened in the first 4 heats. Well, I have the results for you now. The 8 candidates that will be going through to the second round from heats 1 through 4 are Android 18, Dispo, Master Roshi, Krillin, Lavender, Pilina, Android 17, and Zerloin. And I will tell you that the Zerloin one was a very close one indeed, as shown by this poll here. And Oregano, in heat 4, you were very close to making it through, but I'm afraid that Zerloin was just too strong with his axe chop move. But don't worry, Oregano, you are now more memorable than that thing that people put on pizza to make it taste like pizza, because without it, pizza isn't just pizza. We salute you! And most of all, I really do encourage you to share this Tournament of Power Bingo Tournament, because this is your chance to actually say who goes forward. You think people from Universe 9 didn't get their just desserts or anything like that? You were able to prove that Lavender can make the cut and make it through to round 2. And sadly, we did have to say goodbye to Pilina's colleague Saunel. So unfortunately, half of the Namekians that fused with them didn't really get the chance to see another day. But before we continue, I might want to say that I'm also joined by a co-host here. If you wish to have a ranch plush of your very own, check the link in the description and the pinned comment below. You might want to get onto this quite quickly because this is a very time-limited offer. Isn't she just so cute? She makes the greatest co-host. But it is no more time to wait, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the next round of drawing of the numbers! Thank you everyone for your patience. The results are in. The numbers for the 5th heat are 32, 34, 18, 24, and 54. For the 6th heat, they are 73, 38, 50, 7, and 14. For heat 7, they are 71, 33, 27, 66, and 12. And for the last heat of this episode, the numbers are 72, 6, 62, 9, and 57. We have our numbers, everyone, but what do they mean? Find out next on the Tournament of Power Bingo Tournament! Kawe is the belle of Universe 4, and once provoked into Master Roshi's sphere of influence, she let out her inner Ranfan, so to speak. Her elven beauty was a very different part of the team. Her power is noted to be quite large, and her powers of key manipulation were said to be stronger than even the likes of Casserole. However, when she didn't get her way, she let out her more impatient side, as well as being quite wayfish, and then jumped off of the ring. Now with Roshi not present in this heat, might we get to see her true power? Kaba. The chief officer of the Saiyan police. Kaba's nature may be quite sweet and quaint, but when it comes down to the wire, he is a dependable ally and a worthy apprentice of the Prince of Universe 7, Vegeta. The first modern Super Saiyan in his universe, he and his other Saiyan pals inspired Champa's decision into forming his team around them. More Saiyans, he said. Nink. A quintessential orc-like being, he is a proud and appreciative warrior. amongst other warriors. Respecting Goku's power when he came into contact with him, he stood by his teammates and defended them from said Saiyan's power, which was a decent showing despite minimal screen time. However, when the blue power came into play, there was no way he could keep up. Is it time for Nink to feel less like a nincompoop? Jimizu, the Yardratian of Universe 2. How and why he went to this realm is a mystery, but what isn't a mystery is his repertoire. Relying heavily on his innate instant transmission power, he was able to fend off most opponents without a scratch. Despite this, he was swatted out of play by Caulifla and then almost wasted by Frieza. Had it not been for the cardinal rule of the game, it might have been curtains for him. Boltamo! Winnie the Boo Bear makes his return, and he has his interesting dimensional punch transporter body to keep him going for longer than ever. With only Goku in Universe 7 knowing his true weakness of being hurled out of the ring, Boltamo can stand his ground and confuse his opponents into submission, tiring them out. Can this powerful survival tactic make him the ultimate survivor? The 5th heat is now over, and you got to get onto it to vote up top. Now on to Heat 6. Lebo. The first fighter to exit the ring, Lebo is an expert when it comes to aerial combat, which should have made her formidable in a tournament where ki-based flying was ruled out. Unfortunately, due to the rule keepers changing the goalposts every 10 seconds, her advantage evaporated, and when caught in between Basil's legs from Universe 9, she was quickly halted. Plum! The Blob has graced our presence. Like Boltamo, he has the power to not be injured by powers directly, but unlike the Yellow Bear, he can reflect the energy attacks back at the source, as well as using drones to further reflect his attacks, making him essentially untouchable. A smart mind and a strong grip on his abilities, it makes up for his complete and utter lack of anything else. Toppo! Justice Guy! Toppo is the second in command of the Pride Troopers, and the ultimate believer in their message of true justice and saving the lesser. Not only that, but he could go toe-to-toe with basically everyone, and when ironed into his GOD form, he nearly wasted Frieza and caused great alarm for all concerned. This time, would he resort to this power, or will his mighty fists and noble mind win out? Topper! Let this guy store mass and he will be very difficult to move. A steady and stable force, he can make things a little more challenging for those wanting to get rid of him pronto. Nonetheless, the weight is nothing to those that practice ki control, sadly, and the likes of Android 18 made light work of him, and ultimately, his own power caused the arena to crumble around him, as did his prospects. Boraretta!
Well, excuse me, boss, but I have to chime in for this one. Introducing Boraretta, the most overlooked fighter in the whole Tournament of Power. He's the literal foundation of Team Universe 3, giving Koichi Rater an equal footing with some of the most fearsome fighters. He's also fast and durable enough that, Vegeta can't kick him. Also, let's not forget that he is 1/4 of Aniraza, the fearsome amalgamation that needed 5 Universe 7 warriors to take down. And I'm pretty sure we all know which part of Aniraza is responsible for the biggest power boost. You know that he's the one deserving to win the tournament.
Heat 6 has got some heavy hitters in there, including fan favorite Boraretta. But what about Heat 7? Is it even going to be more challenging and more interesting? Kettle! Despite his bizarre visage, Kettle is one of the stronger members of the Pride Troopers, being able to give Universe 6 Caulifla a lot of trouble before Super Saiyan came along. His surround energy moves are quite fearful, and much like Piccolo's move, if you are caught in it, you are done. Will the kettle boil once more? Goku! It's Goku. Need I say more? Oh yes, don't just vote for him by default, please. Consider our other fighters. Thank you. Damon! Big things come in small packages, and Damon was able to do the business and take out one of the favorite universe's most stable beings, Piccolo. His small stature, really small stature, was able to get the jump on Goku and Android 17 for the longest time, and the only way to stop him was to trap him in a barrier and toss him out. Speed, size, and smarts make him quite potent. Frieza, the Tyrant of Universe 7. He was a surprise and last-minute choice for this team, but throughout the tournament originally, he was able to step up and provide a good amount of help for his teammates. Just not in the best of graces though. His legacy is immense, and his powers and acts going so far as to give Goku energy made him quite the enigma. Will things be more straightforward another time around? Napapa, the sumo wrestler of Universe 10. His sheer bulk was quite mighty to most fighters. A linchpin of Team Universe 10, Rumshi put a lot of trust in the wrestler to work around his teammates, and sure enough, he was able to resist the Trio de Danger for a sizable amount of time. He nearly took out Caulifla, in Super Saiyan no less, but when countered with a wrestling move of her own, he had no answer to it, and his weight was nothing for the biker boss of Universe 6. Oh my, we actually got the main character in that heat! But what about Heat 8? Is that going to be just as, hopefully not straightforward? Shosa! With his feral strike, Shosa showed off his power against a lot of Pride troopers, and he was even able to resist an attack from the Earthlings of Universe 7 in the initial stages. Despite being nothing to Android 18 in direct combat, he was able to outwit her and caused her to step up or else be thrown out. His smart thinking and ability to confuse opponents is useful, and not to mention his striking looks make him a dependable ally for Universe 4. Mercury! Her list of attacks is one of the most detailed for those not from Universes 6 or 7. A mysterious creature, Mercury uses the cover of darkness to enhance her powers to considerable heights, and make her a fearful challenger when the lights are off. Her mystic talisman changed the world around her, but she can slip through these tricks like Roshi did. She is very easily sealed away herself with the Mababa technique. No Roshi, no problem? Kokot! The Temporal Mage of Universe 11. Kokot is able to mimic somewhat the likes of Hit and control space-time around her with dimensional pockets, which make her able to resist many attacks from different fighters, and Super Saiyan Berserker Kale does not faze her. A really solid member of a very solid team. Zabuto! His origins unknown. Most people reckon he is from Universe 2, a line of tupples from there that made their way to that realm somehow. Despite this ambiguity, they almost got the jump on a depleted Goku, but when Android 17 stepped in, it was practically game over. Not even help from the powers of Ribrianne were enough to keep him in for much longer. Kale! The standout from Universe 6 in being able to wake Jiren from his slumber. Making up a strong and unpredictable part of the team, Kale spent a lot of time shying away from her own strength, but when she embraced it, she was fierce, and outside of Universe 7, she had the most takedowns, and if you go to the manga, she was even bigger in being the clear winner there. When fused with Caulifla to make Kefla, she seemed unstoppable until a certain Ultra Instinct guy came into view. No Goku this time around. Might she progress still? So there you have it, folks. Our first 4 heats are now drawn. Please do come back and vote on the polls, and once all the heats are drawn, we shall go to round 2. So keep watching these weekly updates to see if your selection got through. Until next time, everyone, spread the word and prepare yourself for the next round of the Tournament of Power Bingo Tournament!